Hello everyone, welcome to Gardening Mindfully. I hope you are doing well. I'm very excited to share with you my Chinese evergreen plants and how best to have success growing them. Yes, this does not look like a Chinese evergreen plant, but it is. There are actually over 20 species of Chinese evergreen plants. They are grown for their beautiful foliage, most of which are multi-patterned in shades of green, red, pink, and even white. Even though they are called Chinese evergreen plants, the botanical name is Aglaonema, but sometimes you'll hear it referred to as ag or the common name Chinese evergreen plant. Chinese evergreen plants are native to tropical and subtropical regions of Asia, mostly China, where they grow in the wild, where they receive very little light. This is a very important fact to know because it will tell us the growing conditions that are required to be successful in growing our Chinese evergreen plants. This red Chinese evergreen plant is called Siam Aurora. Siam Aurora. Next I have a silver bay, and you'll notice on this silver bay that the leaves are silver with green markings. This is what most people think about when they hear the name Chinese evergreen plant. You will notice that the underside of the leaf is a bright green color. But look how glossy the leaves are. It's just a beautiful, healthy plant. Now, I've had this plant for about 10 years. Here you'll see the silver queen that has green leaves with silver markings. This is another green leaf variety called Romeo. This green leaf with white markings is called Maria. Edgy white has green leaves with white edges. And here is a pink variety called Prosperity. In zones 10, 11, and 12, where the temperature closely mimics the tropical regions where they grow in the wild, your Chinese evergreen plant can be grown outdoors all year round as a perennial. For us here in zone 8A, where we experience freezing temperatures, our Chinese evergreen plants grows indoors as houseplants. What I love about Chinese evergreen plants, no matter the variety, whether it's my silver bay or my Siam Aurora with its red veins and red markings on the green leaves, is the fact that they're easy to care for. This is a plant, if you're a beginner, will make you feel like an expert. Also, they enhance a low light area. In addition, the Chinese evergreen plants are very forgiving plants. They can tolerate periods of drought. So if you go on vacation, there is no need to worry about your Chinese evergreen plant. It can thrive on some neglect, and you'll be wowed when you return. The fourth thing that I love about Chinese evergreen plants is that they are said to purify the air. And who does not want something in their home that purifies the air? If you are not wowed by the beautiful foliage of these Chinese evergreen plants, I hope these 4 reasons will help you to fall in love with the plant. Because your Chinese evergreen plant in the wild grows well below the tree canopy and is an understory plant that grows on the forest floor, they tend to not get very much light. As a result, your Chinese evergreen plant does best in a low light area, which means indirect light. So 1 to 2 hours of light daily is ideal growing conditions for your Chinese evergreen plant. So that can be an east facing or a north facing window. On the other hand, if you do have a sunny location, it's important to place your Chinese evergreen plant behind a sheer curtain, or just to move it back away from the direct sunlight, as the light will scorch the leaves. So it's very important to remember the natural conditions for these plants in the wild and to mimic those same conditions in your home environment. Regarding water, again, it's best to underwater as opposed to overwatering your plant. Overwater will lead to root rot. I tend to allow my Chinese evergreen plants to go dry in between waterings. They're a very forgiving plant, which means some neglect is okay. They will thrive with some neglect. So if you do forget to water, it's okay. A lot of times, your plant will let you know it's time for watering if the leaves tend to droop, which is natural for your Chinese evergreen plant, for the leaves to droop. But if they droop more than they are here, then I know it's time to water. Now, when we talk about soil, it's very important that we use a well-draining soil mix. Again, we never want our Chinese evergreen plant to sit in water. And with a well-draining soil mix, the water will drain through the soil easily and not settle in the soil to where the roots can rot. When it comes to temperature, indoor temperatures of 65 to 80 degrees is ideal growing conditions for your Chinese evergreen plants. As far as fertilizing, I tend to fertilize all of my indoor plants with a slow release fertilizer. When it comes to flowering, our Chinese evergreen plants does flower, but we don't grow them for the flowers. We grow them for the beautiful foliage. This green leaf with the red markings, the red veins, and the red stems. This is why we grow our Chinese evergreen plants. We do not grow them for the blooms, but they tend to bloom in the spring and the summer months, generally white. The blooms of your Chinese evergreen plant looks very much like the bloom on your peace lily plant. So there you have it. I have 2 beautiful Chinese evergreen plants, and you can too. If you have enjoyed this video or you are a returning visitor, please support the channel by subscribing. Like this video, share, and hit the notification bell. Thank you so very much for your support, everyone. Bye for now, and see you in the next video.